in Mr. Beast's deck. However, Unfair Stamp is definitely better of the two.
Yeah, no, good card to have for sure. But we are here.
Slamming down a couple more Charmanders, gets the Cleffa to draw 3 and ending the turn. This Cleffa is easy pickings in order to get back onto your prize mapping that you want to be in, but at the same time, you don't have a ton of hand advantage anymore. Gonna have to get one of these Gholdengos up, get a couple coin bonus, and take this turn to recover first and foremost. That energy retrieval is a nice hit, though.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I will say, one of the benefits here for Mr. Beast is that the Greninja play is only it's a one-time show. You're only ever going to be able to get that play off once for the game. If it happens more than once, that's on you, pal. But nonetheless, you're now in a scenario where the only 2 prizes are available to you is the Pidgeot. But I think at this point in the game, you don't mind taking the single prizer because it does put your prize map back in order to where you only need, 1-2 prize knockout to knock the game to win the game. So
Interesting call there, going for the Night Stretcher in order to just have something for concealed cards. Ends up getting a boss's orders off of that. Launching the energy retrieval, gets a couple of energies back. 1 water, 1 steel. Has an immediate attach and a chance to attack if wanted. I could also see the line where you just kind of leave the Cleffa, though.
yeah, you could leave the Cleffa. If you can find a way to knock out a Charmander, that would be great. That being said, Cleffa is weak to metal, so you can just take the knockout out. I mean, it was going to get knocked out by a strong breeze anyway, but
No.
I guess you don't mind taking that knockout there if you can. We're going to see the strategic stack of the deck here with a superior energy retrieval and a metal energy. So smart stuff there. Just leaving the Cypher Maniac there, without any draw, knowing that you'll be able to top deck into that superior energy retrieval, and you get the Earthen Vessel off the top rope too. So you are going to be able to sniff out your energy and hopefully be able to net a big KO this next turn, Henry.
Yeah, and if you're able to take it on the Pidgeot, that is game over with the boss's orders in hand and already down the Unfair Stamp and one of the Ionos. This turn is going to need to be huge on the side of Mr. Beast. Gone through the Dust Noir as well. Hasn't seen Rotom. It's definitely too late for Rotom. Not too late for Fezandipity to come in, which could be getting off of the Ultra Ball here, if not going for the Charizard EX. Hard to say.
Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting one, to say the least. We now have but here's where things could also get hairy. The Radiant Charizard. One of the issues with Gholdengo as a concept is that it is very linear. It's at its core, it's a 2-prize beat stick deck. You have a very linear approach, but also I think that's a great use of the Cypher Maniac there. That card used defensively is also very, very good because look at that. You don't get Ionoed into 2 completely dead cards. You knew exactly what you're going to draw into there, knowing that your opponent was going to be able to knock you out here. So the Radiant Charizard will take the knockout with Combustion Blast. That does super effective damage on Gholdengo. So now we're going to have to find Gust and, we're just gonna need Gust on the Fezandipity. That's a little bit of an easier target to hit here. And we're getting there, but we only have 1 set of draw left, Henry.
Yeah, seeing Lost City energy wasn't too beneficial. The Turos scenario, nothing too immediately helpful either. Can help you get something off the board. The Ultra Ball certainly nice as well to get you another Gholdengo, gets you another draw.
Yeah, you could possibly go for the Turo to pick up the Greninja and then put it back down again because that will reset its ability.
That's fun.
Yeah, that's a fun, nifty little thing. Once upon a time, there used to be a card called Scoop Up Net. You can do that with a lot of Pokemon. It was broken, Miss that guy every day. But instead, we're going to go for the Ultra Ball here. I think there's still a Fez in the deck. So we should be able to get... No, there is no Pokemon left in the deck. I think if you're going to go for anything... Yeah, that's tough. But also, I think if you're going to pick anything up, you have to pick up the... You have to pick up the Palkia as well, because Palkia is just kind of a sitting duck here. Or you could just pick up the Gholdengo and then immediately place it back down again and get another 2 cards off a coin bonus.
Yeah, a creative line in order to get another 2 cards. This Radiant Charizard, just a real problem. Definitely going to have to take the knockout here thanks to the superior energy retrieval. Just trying to maximize card economy. In the meantime, you see the consideration to even place down the Gimme Ghoul. Will he or won't he? Energy retrieval first. To use the Gimme Ghoul as the discard has to be the switch here.
Yeah, because then, you kind of don't have anything to swing with here.
Yeah.
You need to hit, basically everything. I don't think there's a winnable board state here. Okay.
Ooh.
I guess you're just forcing your opponent to go for the single prize knockout here. Because you know what? Oh, I think I see the vision here. Because Radiant Charizard can't attack twice in a row. So you're at least guaranteed you're gonna have to. It forces Mr. Beast to have to find both sides here, and I don't know if they're gonna be able to have everything. Pidgeot can only get you one thing, but they do have a big hand, so I don't know.
Yeah, hard to say. Hard to play around them not having something when they're down to 9 cards in deck with the ability to grab any one of those 9 cards and top of a 12-card hand. You almost have to assume that they have the means to boss in one of your 2 prize attacker. So now you're forced to make a decision or go for something like Prime Catcher. Now you're forcing the decision between taking out the Gholdengo or taking out the Palkia. Meanwhile, Palkia is 1 energy away from getting from being able to attack itself as well.
Oh, what the heck? Wait a second. Are we just... Hold the phone. Oh, wait. Are they going to rare candy into the other Charizard? That is so sick.
Oh, my. Double Charizard.
Yo. Wait, that was actually big brain. I did not even consider that. Makes sense, though. But I was going to say, Charizard... Wait, huh? What? What happened? Did they attach the energies to the wrong Charizards? Am I bugging? Did that just happen?
Yeah, 2 and 1? Do we need to...
You did the math right.
All right, the boss was in hand as well to bring in the Radiant Greninja. And the pass.
Well, all right then. Well, that stinks. Now, here's the fun part. Yeah, you need this energy retrieval to get... this is an awkward position to be in. Well, I think you draw 1 with the Gholdengo because you need this Irida. This is awkward. This is very awkward. Oh, no, there's no switching cards. That stinks.
Pitched the 1 switch that was that's in the deck. Only 1 switch in hand. Prime Catcher might be the other prize card, if not in the discard. We might have seen it, and those are the only 2 switch cards in the list.
Yeah, this is not great because you need to use an attachment on the Gholdengo, but you also need an attachment to get Greninja out of the active. So.
We got 3 prize cards. You're not trying to give him another turn, though. This is brutal. This is a grueling game 1.
Yeah, we've grinded to a halt here, Henry. So it looks like we're just going to commit to the Palkia. We do have the jamming tower to bump the collapse, but at this point it really doesn't matter. both players are on the bare minimum of their decks right now. So I think, yeah, we're just gonna pass the buck back and once again play the slots of whether Mr. Beast has everything to take this knockout here. Oh, well, I think that's gonna. Yeah, they have to find the other Gus, which I'm assuming they're gonna have in the deck. So we may be cooked, chat.
It could be over.
Counter catcher. Yeah, same deal.
Counter catching in the Gholdengo though.
Yeah. Because Palkia can't take the one-hit knockout. So
right. Gholdengo has the potential to, though the Palkia is set up to deal damage. It's not going to be enough.
And I don't think there's enough Pokemon left yet. There's no Pokemon left in the deck, and I don't think you have enough guys left to take the knockout with Subspace Swell. I think he's it's a 60 plus 20, I think, for each bench Pokemon you have. So I think you're just short here.
Just a little bit off. Double Charizard that late in the game, man, and it turned on everything.
Yeah, and you got a second chance at life to be able to net that KO, but
yeah. The Night Stretcher, yeah,
it keeps
needed both, wanted both. But they go to the top of your deck. They don't go anywhere, no further, no more.
Nope. And that sure is Subspace Swell, all right.
160.
Just all right, Greninja, go get him, pal.
All right, we're gonna play out the full hand, and then we're gonna retrieval for more.
Sure, why not?
Yeah, this seems like this seems like a game one. GG's well played. Mr. Beast always wins.
I use rare candy on 2 of my Charmanders in SoFi Stadium.
In SoFi.
That's what Collapse Stadium is. It's the remains of it's the remains of SoFi.
The old... Oh no, not the SoFi earthquake.
Well, that was
I
a
buried
game.
This Charmander alive
for 36 hours.
For 36 hours.
Oh God.
Game 1, Mr. Beast. Still got 1 or 2 more games to go. But as you were mentioning, kind of like this is such an awkward matchup to play out as Gholdengo, especially because you're forced to, instead of flexing your hand advantage into progressive multiple knockouts with the same Gholdengo, you're forced to almost burn everything into one just to knock out one Charizard if they get set up, which a late game setup, as we saw, was just brutal. A knife in the back for Nerd Out.
Yeah, the tough aspect for this matchup for Gholdengo is that, like, if you don't get off to that strong enough lead, like, initially, you just kind of lose the race to Charizard at the end because one of your biggest perks is that you don't immediately get knocked out by Charizard off the rip. But if you, like, lose momentum at any point, like if you stumble just a little bit and give Charizard some wiggle room to adjust its math or increase its damage output, you put yourself on the back foot real soon, and then you really don't have a way to stop the bleeding, and that is a mulligan. So that's not a good way to start the game either. This deck does tend to do that a lot. You only play 8 basic Pokemon, so. But, you can avoid those bad starts by having 3 of your buddy popping in your hand.
Yeah, it's going to fill up the bench. Good for Palkia. Palkia W.
We take those. Palkia stonks are up, baby. Ooh, no Beaver in the deck, though. That's a dang shame.
Yeah, the risk of playing the 1-1 Bidoof Bibarel. No Bidoof, no Industrious Incisors ready to help out the rest of your deck. There's the barrel. No Beaver.
There he is. Yep, no call, no show. I'm also curious what card that Nerd Out chose to cut to include the one copy of Lost City in this deck. I'm pretty sure, like, I think it might be a Buddy Poffin. They might have gone down to 3. Because
Yes,
this
they
is
did.
basically, this is very, like, 59 out of the 60 cards, I'm pretty sure, are the third place lists from Dortmund regionals. Shoutouts to Golden God, the Golden Goat, Yellow Van Camp. The man has amassed $1,400 playing strictly Gholdengo for the last year in Pokemon. He is the CEO in charge of this deck, and we are all not worthy. We can all only pretend to be him. I do, at least. So
Sometimes you can mirror being him, but you cannot replicate
I will never be I will never be the Golden God like he
the
is.
Golden Go.
Yeah, he's
Uh,
but the Lost City is a nice inclusion. I think in matchups like this where
yeah.
if you can get it down, you can get it to like stick for a turn. You know, it's definitely very effective in these decks that like to recycle Pokemon. And a pretty good start on both sides for everybody. We do have the Cypher Maniac. I think the Iona is probably the right choice. So his hand's kind of dead otherwise, and you need to see a Gholdengo on his turn to start really ramping the offense up. And unfortunately, there's also still no Palkia in play, so you can unfortunately not go for the snipe play just yet either. But we do find Gholdengo, Henry.
Yeah, and there's still chances to slowly work to that play. Hopefully, it doesn't become too late too quickly, depending on the contents of the hand after the Iono on the side of Mr. Beast. But as you mentioned earlier, Kyle, there is no bench protection. There was no mana fees, no Jirachis, no nothing of that like in Mr. Beast's deck list. Just purely focused on draw, turbo, and uh, Dusclops and Duskulls, and just being able to get out the Charmander and the Charizards as soon as possible. No need to protect your bench if you're just playing full turbo.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, these Charizard lists have become slightly greedier as we've grown forward. There are definitely some liberties taken in this deck for sure, as well for Mr. Beast. The one of Mist Energy is very cute as well. We're going to see the Unfair Stamp hit the deck here. It's going to put Nerd Out onto a 2-card hand, but you have a draw of 4 at the very least. You know, you are not in any danger of being knocked out just yet. So
Going for the Ultra Ball here for Pidgeot EX. Needs the rare candy, presumably has it. If you're gonna Pidgeot out, if you're gonna fetch Pidgeot, then you're gonna absolutely have the rare candy online already. The last card in hand was Charmander. So this quick search has got to be the world.
Nope. Okay, we're instead just going to retreat out to the Cleffa, and the Cleffa going to Grasping Draw for 6. So, not a bad play here.
Oriented the hand and the field in order to maximize the card advantage for the following turn, and now you're just worried about everything. Drawing 6, down to 27 cards in deck. A Cleffa, which is kind of a needless knockout. Just the card is literally just waiting to be KO'd at this point. Double Charmander on the bench. This Mr. Beast is looking up. Meanwhile, Nerd Out starting to orchestrate his hand and his deck a little bit. The Palkia V selected along with the Energy Retrieval. Going to be setting up for a later mid-game Greninja if he can help it.
Yeah, I think this is probably the safest play you can go for here. Like, Cleffa served its purpose, so I think neither side is okay losing this one. And we're going to get the Greninja established as well. And we're going to have to burn that Retrieval just to knock out the Cleffa. And again, Cleffa, a literal baby, will be knocked out by a singular energy here. But first, conceal cards.
Still get to maximize the draw power a little bit. A Metal Energy is whatever, but the Superior Energy Retrieval, having a second one in the bank, is certainly excellent. You make it rain and pitch one
Yep.
to
Yep.
stomp the baby.
Yeah. Listen, when you're Cleffa, when it rains, it pours. So, and my God, it is it's torrential.
He's making it rain. That's for sure.
I'm really glad to in an era where they don't have to translate the Pokemon moves over to the card games. I really am glad that they kept Gholdengo's signature move as its attack in the TCG. Also, I think that is
Yeah.
very clever. We love that. He's just so cool.
He's a big old dude.
He's just a guy.
Don't talk to me about VGC though. Not Gholdengo and VGC makes me sad, but in TCG, he's the guy.
Yeah, like if your opponent flips over a Gimme Ghoul, you are your opponent flips over a Gimme Ghoul. You're at least at the bare minimum having a fun conversation with the guy across from you. So
Yeah. Oh yeah. Charmeleon comes down, and then the rare candy for the Charizard. This is that type of explosive turn that can get out of hand super quickly, as we're immediately attaching 2 and 1, and the counter catcher too.
yep, smart play here. And going to go for the Iono as well. Put the hand size back down to 4, and taking care of the Palkia to stall the potential Greninja play a turn longer. However, we do see that Lost City hit the hand here now, Henry. Now this could be huge. We could be able to take a Charizard and a Charmander off the board here. We're gonna see the Collapse Stadium hit the ground as well.
Pitching a Gholdengo, not a Gholdengo, a Gimme Ghoul. Yeah, from the Collapse Stadium, the swap out to the Charizard, and then we are knocking out the Palkia V, evening up the prize count, which could be relevant later depending on the orchestration of this turn on the side of Nerd Out. The Cyphermaniac's Codebreaker, though, is not a bad draw, getting to choose whatever you want, any two of these 31 cards to add to hand. But gotta consider if he wants to use another one of the supporters in his deck before committing to the Cyphermaniac's Codebreaker.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting sequencing puzzle you have yourself in here. But you found another Gholdengo, which is huge. I think you want to utilize the Lost City this turn for sure. I think we're going to draw one more here. And I think we're going to save the one of the active for last to see if we can maybe draw into what we need naturally. We do get the Superior, which is nice, but we still need a second one of those. I did not get a good look to see how many energy are already in the discard pile. But looks like Cyphermaniac's going to hit the deck here. Prime Catcher looks to be the choice, as well as Phasandibity. Help you draw a little bit more.
Yeah, with the knockout taken, you get to draw 2, then draw 3, as well as threaten any one of the Mons on bench thanks to the Prime Catcher. The Prime Catcher, double metal energy, and now 2 superior energy retrievals were overflowing in ammo. So while the Charizard on board right now, or inactive right now, may not be too threatening, or may not be as threatened, everything on the bench certainly is.
Okay, we're going to go for the de facto mob boss here with the Pidgeot. And we're going to see the heart attached to the Phasandibity, a one retrieve Pokemon. Re-promote the Gholdengo EX, and now let the Superior Energy Retrieval rip. You only need 6 energies compared to 7 to knock out a Pidgeot, and that will now give us just enough to get the knockout, bumping that stadium, saving it for last, and we are going to say bye-bye to Pidgeot for the rest of the game, Henry.
Dumping 300 damage, 7 energies. And that is a gone Pidgeot and 2 prize cards for this, for Nerd Out. Gholdengo taking its first 2 prize card attack. So we are in a dangerous spot. And when it comes to this Gholdengo on board already, as I mean, the Charizard online, we're sitting on a Dusk Noir as well. The Fezandipity draw 3. You're not fearing a Pidgeot, but everything else on hand and on field is live and ready for some damage output. Because this Charmeleon can also be evolved right away this turn as well.
Yeah, we could find ourselves in a very precarious spot here because there is a Briar in the deck for Mr. Beast, and Briar can only be utilized if you have 2 prizes left, but it allows you to take an extra prize card if you score a knockout at any point during the turn for with your Terra Pokemon. However, taking care of the Pidgeot means that you can't just go cherry pick that card. You have to naturally draw into it. So we could have potentially seen a turn where, you pop the Dusknoir, to knock out the Greninja to put yourself on 3 prize cards, and then Charizard takes 3 prize cards with Burning Darkness. That could have been a very real scenario here, but that's all dependent on whether, you can naturally draw into this Briar. Or I don't think a supporter was used yet. I think that Arbor was there from last turn. Oh, we're just passing a buck. Cool.
Curious.
Yeah, I don't think there was a turn here for where Mr. Beast could have won the game. And now I just think it's a matter of, getting stuff in the hand to mill away. Yeah, I think we just boss up the Fez and get some energies out of the deck and call it a game, Henry.
Yeah, that's just going to seal the deal. Final 2 prize cards. Dump the entirety of this 300 damage worth of energy and bring us to a game number 3.
All right, excellent stuff right there from Nerd Out. And again, I think taking care of the Pidgeot in that turn was huge. That puts you in a bit of a safety net where you force your opponent to have what they need in the hand already, instead of just being able to cherry pick it with the old quick search. So good stuff.
It's what makes a lot of decks go, that Pidgeot. Not to mention its own deck. I mean, there was someone, I believe, Liam Halliburton, who is
the GOAT,
the dude who's currently waiting on the winner of this match, as the winner of this will play Liam himself. It's just playing Pidgeot control. The deck which is a hilarious deck, but it's a Pidgeot EX brings together and is the glue for so many other strategies for obvious reasons.
Yeah, no, and Liam a regional champion last season, so definitely nothing to scoff out, not an easy out, and the king of many deck archetypes. So we're gonna get into this game 3 here, Henry. And we're seeing it looks like it is Mr. Beast opting to go first, I believe, with that Cleffa. At least I think so. Makes a lot of sense. Gholdengo is definitely a deck where if you don't go first, your ability to play the game is definitely hindered a bit because you're a stage 1 evolving deck that wants to be able to attack the second turn. So you know how you prevent them from doing that? By making them wait a turn to evolve.
Yeah, just 1 extra turn and their turn count is massively beneficial, though this is a pretty solid opening. I mean, double Gimme Ghoul, a Gholdengo in hand. There's a Beaver online, as well as a Palkia V-Star. Not a ton of immediate value.
Yo, wait a second.
He can
from deep.
He
They hate us. Sad reacts only.
Unfortunate error. Just flip the coin better, I guess.
Yeah. All right. Well, we got the bare minimum set up here, and the good news is, again, Charizard's a little bit of a slower burn into a deck like Gholdengo, so you don't mind them taking that 1 prize knockout on the Gimme Ghoul, because that also opens up some stuff for you in the next turn. Possibly being able to draw into a Fez or an S-Ball, maybe an Ultra Ball to get the barrel off. So, Let's see what Mr. Beast has in store here. Get rid of that Super Rod and the Vitality Band. Most likely to find a Charizard EX. There it is, adding it to the hand.
Buddy Poffin as well is going to set up another Charmander and a Pidgeot. Charizard EX hitting the board immediately on this turn number 3. And we get to attach these energies with the Infernal Rain and get cooking.
What a country.
Yeah. 07.
Alright, here we go. Trying to... There we go. Burning Darkness for the 360. That is super effective on the Psychic type Gimmighoul. I sometimes do forget that Gimmighoul is a Psychic type.
Yeah, right. Why?
Nah, he's spooky. He's a ghost.
Fair enough. Can't be mad at that. Yeah, happy Halloween, everybody.
All right, we see the Ultra Ball on hand here. So this is kind of a tough scenario to be in. You want to use that Ultra Ball to get the draw out, you know, with the barrel. So I think we're gonna, or are we just gonna stand packed? Interesting choice. Oh no, I think we just Ultra Ball 2 these energies away. True.
Yeah, the retrieval's going to clean up the math so that we keep the superior energy retrieval for later. And then this Industrious Incisors will draw 4. Let's see what we hit. Another Gholdengo is a draw 1 later. Can't evolve any of these 2 now.
Yeah, you're still in a scenario where you can, you know, afford to take a bit of a slower start here. You could go for the route of stacking the deck with the Cypher Maniac for later. You could also go for the Fez to draw a little bit more, but no, instead going to opt to establish the Palkia first. Thinking about it at the very least. Okay. Excuse me, the Greninja.
Yeah, I guess Greninja serving a dual purpose here is pretty powerful. As mentioned, there is no bench protection in Mr. Beast's list, so you're threatening double knockout only once, but with this Greninja right now, effectively, thanks to the Earthen Vessel pitching that next Gholdengo, that's going to net you the final water energies needed, one of which can be pitched off of the concealed cards. The attach for turn was already done.
Yes. So I think we just draw a couple more cards here, see what we possibly draw into. The Pokestop helps. It's a little bit more draw in your corner. And you got basically everything you want out of the deck right now, so the chance of hitting an item much higher. Hey, look at that.
3 for 3.
Ooh, baby, a triple.
All of it might end up just being discard fodder, excuse me. Though the Ultra Ball for something like a Pheasantipity and later could certainly be beneficial. Contemplating using it now. Oh, just going for the Make It Rain for 50.
Yep.
Saving a big damage play for later, it seems like.
Yeah, it makes it so you need 1 less energy, which is fine. And again, you're in no real danger right now. Outside of your small guys on the bench, your big essential EX Pokemon are in no danger of being knocked out by Charizard right now. Especially so without there being a Dusclops or a Dusknoir in play to fix the math a little bit. Pokestop, though, however, going to lose 2 Brave Souls.
Trying to hit it, ends up losing a 1 of Dusclops and 1 of the 2 Pidgeot EXs. Now there is only a Night Stretcher in the list and 2 Super Rod for Mr. B, so it's not like they're gone forever, but that's a rough one. That can set you back quite a bit if you're not able to find ways to either get that back to hand or to find the other copy of said Pidgeot. Oh, there it is. Never mind. My fault.
I found you. There you are, Perry. All right. Like you mentioned, no.
We grab it.
That's a good question. Maybe you get like a Charmeleon here to kind of set your board up a little bit slower, give you that sort of flexibility to. Nope, never mind. Just gonna go for the Iono. Fix the hand.
Well, could be worse. Again, you're ioning your opponent to 6 cards, and then this 180 damage is going to leave the Gholdengo online. Canceling Cologne is the draw. And you've got double Gholdengo for a draw 4.
Yeah, I think this is exactly a scenario you want to be in if you're Nerd Out. You were able to force your opponent to swing into the Gholdengo. And you could also go for the Turo play here to kind of set them back a little bit further. A safer play you can go for because you also have the Night Stretcher or the Vessel to recover that metal energy. But no, not going to go for it just yet. Instead, just going to draw out as much as you can.
Pitch with the concealed cards to boot. The switch is drawn, which is certainly helpful. If the plan is not to Turo, but it seems like Turo is the move.
Yeah, interesting choice to wait until the end of the draw sequence to do so. You could have gone for the nifty play where you. Oh, okay. No, I see why they waited. You're gonna get your draw, and then you're gonna take a poop ton with Greninja right now. So.
Couldn't you still have waited though?
I did. Well, because
yeah. No, you're right. You draw first. That way you guarantee getting. The goal is never to hop in and out through multiple Gholdengos in the active. It's just to go right into the Radiant Greninja. So.
Yeah, because then they would have had to burn the switch card too, and that's going to be important now, especially now that there's a Palkia that doesn't have any energy attached to it, so you don't want it to be an Albatross in your active, especially with the Barrel as well. You have 2 really easy, stalling fodders sitting there. Oh, hi, 2 metal energies. We'll take those.
A Gholdengo without one, and one to be next turn, also missing a metal energy, though you do kind of want to keep him in hand for a potential discard. But the big turn with the Greninja, setting back Mr. Beast with 2 Charmanders now in the discard pile, though there is still the lingering problem of the Charizard EX sitting and waiting there. Now with 2 of your own prize cards gone, this is going to be some 240 damage swinging from all sides.
We're going to be in quite the pickle here. Can Mr. Beast lunchable his way out of this one, Henry?
Gonna be a hard one. Because 240 is big damage, but it's not enough to take a KO on anything that matters.
Yeah,
I mean, the Palkia has already been used, but that's sitting at 280, and all 3 Gholdengos are 260. I mean, Greninja's gonna get roughed up.
Yep. See you later, pal. Good night, sweet prince. All right. So again, I think not a bad scenario to be put in here. Again, you force your opponent to swing into a Gholdengo, and you took away any hope of them taking a 2-prize knockout. Now they had to settle for the 1-prize knockout, and now you get the opportunity to return KO big on a Charizard here. Again, only needing 6 energies to do so. So a little bit more of an easier target to hit.
You got that 1 energy used early in the game as just a quick pitch for 50, helping out later. Because now with the 3 energy already sitting in hand and a superior energy retrieval with the pitch of the Poffins and the Nest Ball, you're ready to take this knockout with the Pheasantipity as well as a draw 3. Don't even need it.
Nope. Not at all. Instead, we are going to make it rain for 350. That's right. Yep. Nope. You're there. Yep. Oh, God. You
made it.
Okay, yeah, we go. Yep, we're good. 6. How many do you need to pass? 6.
6 at wow, prime catcher from the prize cards. What a pull. It's kind of hand disruption or well, no, with the Pidgeot as long as the Pidgeot's there, it's kind of hand disruption or bust. Though you do need that superior energy retrieval. But you're also seeing 4 cards off the top of your deck. This is the power of a efficient and flexible draw engine. And look at all these Gholdengos just waiting to see 1 or 2 cards off the top of your deck.
Yep, he is the golden boy for a reason. So
looking good and feeling better.
I'm also like the Gynax pose Gholdengo SAR is just like fantastic. He is cross-armed and smirking. I've always said it looks like that picture of Squidward when he's like has a closet full of clocks he throws at SpongeBob.
Yes. I always look at it. It's like the esports pose.
Gholdengo made top 8 at Collision. Please,
yeah.
Please go to the lobby for your esports pose. Top photo.
Gholdengo definitely plays Rocket League.
He definitely hasn't drank in water in a week. He's only surviving off of sugar-free Red Bulls. It's kind of
the pickle.
Yeah, kind of a sticky wicket here for Mr. Beast.
He's not gonna be able to fry his way out of this one.
Won't be able to bury himself alive in this one either.
Oh no! So got pinged in the tournament chat. Our good friend Mr. Beast has crashed.
Oh gosh.
Uh-oh.
Well, that's not good.
That's a problem for the judges.
Yeah, I forget what the rules are for a disconnect, but I think we just kind of have to play it as is, from what I understand. I'll leave that up to the judges. I am merely a talking head on a YouTube channel, so don't quote me for rules. But I believe that's how we kind of have to play it.
Yeah, and at the very least, it was game locked in on the next turn, as we are going to be seeing another superior energy retrieval drawn off the top. The multitude of Gholdengos are putting in the work. This is going to be 9 energies worth of damage just vomited onto this Pidgeot.
When it rains, it pours, Henry. Pours. And boy, did it pour. There we go.
And that's going to seal the deal for Nerd Out. He will be playing against Liam Halliburton in the next round. Whether that be a disconnect, but the opponent just acknowledging that, yeah, you had got it based on the position anyways, seals the deal for the last of the winners of the top 16 of the round of 16. One other round of 16 has already been completed with JM Warrior getting a 2-0 over R2D2. And then, of course, the other 3 are going in King Heracross versus Ryan Now, Liam Halliburton against Nerd Out, and No Ability Initialization is in a game 3 with Joe Marissa.
That is an Iron Thorns mirror, Henry.
Brutal.
I imagine that's the equivalent of taking a portable charger and trying to charge it with a portable charger. Is kind of how my brain sees that one.
That moment where you text like your family members. It's like, hey, I lost my phone.
Yeah. That's a good way to put it. All right, let's let me take a browse here. I guess we could just keep it here with Nerd Out.
We can keep it here, or we can go to King Heracross, who I think is also streaming.
Let's just keep it here. This match is gonna get started soon anyway. It's Gholdengo. I like Gholdengo. He's a cool guy.
Gholdengo's cool.
Yeah, he's a fun. This deck, like it's been very it's been very near and dear to my heart since it came out. I think it's a fun deck and it's proven to be successful. In the right metagame. Again, shout outs to the Golden God, Yella Van Camp, for a third place finish. Like I said, the man is eat, breathes, sleeps Gholdengo, so he is the CEO in charge without a doubt. And I think Gholdengo is always going to have a very interesting place in the metagame. So we'll see how this continues to play out as we move forward in the Stellar Crown format. Again, a little lack of a Terapagos this weekend, but I think that's kind of the beauty of this format. It feels very much like a skill check format, Henry, where you can kind of play whatever you want as long as you know how to pilot it well. You can find yourself in to be successful with a variety of deck archetypes.
And that only serves to benefit the players who had been playing one deck since its release for multiple formats. As you mentioned with Gholdengo, Gholdengo has been around for 3 formats at this point, and players are starting to get really, really good with its sequencing and putting together just what needs to be done and optimizing the list. There's a lot of one-ofs in the list for Nerd Out, but I mean, you can't really be too mad at it because you're drawing so many cards. Everything either is a unique pick for the current metagame, or it's some manner to facilitate card draw. 4 Gholdengos, the Bidoof Bibarel package, the Pheasantipity, the Radiant Greninja. All of these cards say multiple Ionos, multiple of the Cypher Maniac to facilitate your draw engine, Irida as well to search you out extra cards. Like everything says draw cards.
Hey man, if nobody got me, I know Gholdengo got me.
And we love that. We love those. We love drawing cards.
Drawing cards is fun, dare I say. Gholdengo looking like Max Verstappen. Oh my gosh, that's a deep cut reference. I did not expect an F1 reference tonight on comms. I'm gonna keep it a stack, but well played. All right, but here we go. The Golden Goat himself going up against Pidgeot Control, Henry. We mentioned that there are some key one-ofs in his Gholdengo list, but Pidgeot Control, another one of those decks also that plays a variety of fun. That plays a very thin line of one-of cards, but it's great. It's not bad to do when you have Pidgeot that can handpick anything you want. So,
and not to mention the 0-6 machinations on turn 2, forcing a little bit of not just hand control, but active discard on the first turn against a deck that really likes to have its hand size up. But you hit the nail on the head, Kyle. I mean, this is one of the deck. Holy, you are playing a little bit of everything.
The inner machinations of his mind are an enigma. So,
if you can sequence this deck correctly, which I mean, Liam, regional champion, he's good at the game. Like you can see some lines.
Yeah, Liam's the GOAT. So I am not surprised to see him piloting a deck like this. And we're going to take the knockout on the Genesect. That Genesect could prove to be a little frustrating. It has the Ace Nullifier ability, where if you have a tool card attached to it, you cannot play Ace Specs from your hand. And that Eerie, not going to be as effective because there's only one item card in the hand, and the other card's an Iono. So you should be all right to be able to draw out of what you want here. But, oh gosh, there she is, the Mawile with Tempting Trap. Henry, are you familiar with the game of Mawile? Because it is a very funny card. And by funny, I mean horrifying if you don't have a way to pivot.
I'm reading it now, and just you're stuck. This Gimme Ghoul is not going anywhere.
Yeah, pretty much. Now, granted, you do play, a number of switching cards, a couple of switch out options in this deck. You have the Turo, which is a pseudo switch in a controlling deck. You have the switch proper as well as the Prime Catcher. So you do have some devices at your disposal, and you've already lived through a Zerosic and an Airy. So you don't have to worry about seeing those for at least maybe another turn or two. But we are going to stack the deck here, Henry, with something. Trying to find out what the right play is here.
Yeah, I wonder if the call is just to, well, I guess not with the current hand composition. Like, you could make the argument that the call would be to get Gholdengo and then have Gholdengo draw the second card that you stack, but seems like the preference is, hey, I would rather just put 2 cards that are really good on the top of my deck. And one of them's going to be Earthen Vessel. The next card that is drawn will be the Prime Catcher, but you're not drawing that until next turn.
Yeah, again, another scenario where you kind of force your opponent to, even if they go for a disruption play here, it does allow you to draw naturally into that Prime Catcher. Now, unless they play Misfortune Sisters here, which is going to be kind of crazy. But I don't believe that's in. Is there Misfortunes in here? No, there isn't Misfortune Sisters. Okay, I was wrong.
Ton of other hand control like cards. No Misfortune Sisters. Not trying to deck out, just trying to play control. Control the hand, control the board.
Yep, I think Pidgeot controls, like, in terms of just like controlling archetype decks, it's personally one of my favorites. Just because I like the kind of sequencing puzzle you have to play with yourself, where you have to chain these right abilities together. You know what the supporters you use for turn are very important. What Pokemon you decide to lock in the active is important. When do you go for the hand? When do you go for the deck? We're seeing the Luxray V hit the deck here, which leads me to believe that the hand size is what's going to be dominated here. As we're going to see the Fang Snipe do 10 damage and eliminate a card from Nerd Out's hand. Goodbye, Iono.
Eliminating the Iono. Excellent sequencing, though, from the side of Nerd Out. I mean, this Prime Catcher is certainly way more valuable than the Earthen Vessel you picked up on the previous turn. Though, of course, you would like to have the Earthen Vessel so your Gholdengos can actually attack. But at the same time, like, the Prime Catcher is a lot more valuable just to get this Gholdengo into the active slot and start drawing cards and facilitating your engine a little bit more. Now the Earthen Vessel is equally online, and you're representing potentially 150 damage, but not a ton more beyond that.
Yeah, we're gonna see the Earthen Vessel hit the deck here again. Just not a whole lot going on here, which is tough. We're gonna see the Nest Ball come down, or excuse me, we're gonna mill out the Nest Ball. Instead, just going to do the 150. I guess it's hard to have your hand controlled when you have no hand.
Yeah. You know what? Valid.
It's so real.
Yeah. It's like, all right, use all your funny discard effects, your Lux Rays, and everything else to look at my hand. You can read my palms if you want. Nothing there.
Nothing up my sleeve.
So Artisan instantly switching up the Lost City, just kind of playing it to play it. But this is going to be Rotom, draw 3, pass, Mimikyu left on the board.
Yeah, this is where these sort of decks can pose a real problem for Gholdengo. Again, you are a 2-prize beat stick deck, which means, anything like Mimikyu or Cornerstone Mask Ogerpon are really going to give you, fits, because unless you have a canceling clone in hand, you're not going to be able to swing through that thing outside of, establishing a Greninja. But spoiler alert, there's no Greninja to establish right now, so we're just going to have to pass the buck and try again next turn.
Yeah, it's going to take way too long if your hopes rely on Greninja. Meanwhile, every single turn, this Pidgeot gets to grab another card from deck and set it up into prime position. Hasn't taken any prize cards, but that's seems like the furthest goal from the mind of Liam right now. Just looking to continue to control the game.
Yep. Again, just keeping your hand size big, knowing that your opponent is kind of dead drawn a little bit here. We hit the superior, but no Cologne in sight. Still going to get another draw 2 here. We could bench to Greninja and draw a couple more with concealed cards. Looks like that's what we're going to possibly do here. Again, always a liability because you don't want Greninja to get stuck in the active either. And nothing.
Okay, Night Stretcher. Good card. Not
Just
immediately
not what you want to see right now.
Yeah, we're going to grab a Quartet of Energies. Using the Superior Energy Retrieval immediately and the Night Stretcher to boot.
Yeah, we're just going to load up energy in the hand and just, again, pass the buck. Again, knowing the hands are full of energy, again, doesn't really bode well for hand controls purposes, but at the same time, you know your opponent can't hit you because they can't punch through your Mimikyu here.
Oh. All right. Well, this Mawile gets to eat a little bit. But we're switching out of the Mimikyu. We're taking it back to hand, pivoting over to Regieleki. Man, oh man.
Yep, and we're going to use the electromagnetic... Go ahead.
I don't know what this card does.
Electromagnetic Sonar lets you put 2 supporter cards back in your hand. So,
that's pretty good.
Yeah, not bad. Dare I say, pretty good in a controlling archetype for sure. So, all right, now we're going to continue to draw here. We have a little bit of a hand size to play with. And we have a Pokemon we can knock out.
For sure. Can get down to 4 cards here in the prize. Slowly but surely march our way to that win condition. Is it almost worth it here to spend some of a spare water energy onto the Greninja for later?
I don't think it's a terrible idea.
Cards like Mimikyu in the back.
I don't hate that idea. I just think the problem is that there's just... It's tough because I don't think you're ever going to be in a scenario where they're going to allow Greninja to do that. I think you might just find yourself in a spot where you just get punched with like a double turbo energy Pidgeot.
Hyundai Santa Fe versus Subaru Outback.
What the hell is that? Anyone else hear that, or is that just me?
I didn't hear anything.
I just heard a Subaru Outback ad in my ear. I think I'm having a stroke.
Oh no.
I must go. My people need me.
You're being called. You're being summoned.
All right, we got a knockout.
All right, knockout on the Eleki. Pidgeot comes up.
And what else?
Presumably not for long.
Good news, guys. I'm not going crazy. There was, in fact, a Super Outback ad playing another tab I had open.
Sure, we found the source of the ticking.
Where's the leak, ma'am? Is the Subaru Outback in the room with us right now? All right, so
is the Pidgeot, is the gold deck out?
It's definitely an option here. I think we see the Chi-Yu hit the bench now, so that definitely is a possible scenario here. Chi-Yu does have that Jealously Singe attack, which discards 2 cards for the top of your opponent's hand. So we could see a scenario where we go for the Jealously Singe, burn a couple of cards here, bump up that that heavy retreat cost Gimme Ghoul Then we could potentially see some scenarios here where we get maybe like 10 or so cards left in deck to where Mawile becomes a thing. But we do have the Iono to kind of refresh the hand, so deck out might not necessarily be an option here. So, but there is no Palpat in this list, so things like Turo are very finite. It's kind of a tough scenario to be in when you have to burn it.
Tricky, though the Gholdengo is back into the deck, or back into the active slot.
He is here.
He's here. This one Gholdengo from the very second turn, the very start of the game, been holding on.
Yeah, he's a brave boy for sure. All right, we are going to try to establish a barrel here, but again, that's also very risky. That is a Pokemon that screams, "Please get me stuck in the active. I cannot do anything." So you have to be very, very particular when you decide to commit to a Pokemon like that on your bench.
Oh, huge canceling clone draw as well. That's the out ready for later for contingencies should it come up, which means this Gholdengo can kind of start swinging with impunity, and it's gonna start swinging. That's 250 onto the Chi-Yu. Bravery Charm not gonna save it, and that's 2 more prize cards waiting on that Pidgeot, which has already been smacked for 150. 3 more energy and a chance to swing with something like a boss's orders to boot. It could be the end of game number 1.
No, for sure. Not a bad spot to be in right now. Again, Nerd Out's been very good at circumnavigating a otherwise very awkward matchup for Gholdengo. You play a lot of these big, heavy Pokemon that you can't really move very easily. So, good to see that it's so far working out for them where they have some flexibility, and some fluidity to get some offense flowing here.
Tense leading into endgame right now. I'm still just waiting to see with the Chi-Yu gone, the most of the rest of the list seeming to focus on hand control rather than strictly mill, as per the nature. Like how do you circumvent the last 11 cards in deck? Or do you find one way to really get the ball rolling here with something like a Blood Moon or Ursaluna might be in store here after this Ultra Ball? Going for the Duskull instead.
Yeah, Duskull is not a bad option here. You do give yourself some flexibility to blow something up, but we are seeing the Mawile come into play here. We're getting to a scenario where it's like, all right, it's okay. We're gonna Iono the hand low. We're gonna possibly try to, get something stuck in the active here that can't attack, preferably that Bidoof. But Quick Search already has been utilized, so I don't think we're gonna be able to get there.
Yeah, these 6 cards are gonna be the 6 cards that you get for the rest of the turn. Retreat.
Okay, yep. And Fang's also going to keep the hand size low. Goodbye, Nestball. I'll remember you fondly.
Wow, what a pickup.
That's crazy. We'll take those.
You won't have a knockout, but you might. You might now.
You might. You just might.
Sometimes you rip boss's orders off the top.
And there we go.
That's a game 1, a grueling game 1 again. Going to Nerd Out on this Gholdengo.
Yeah, Gholdengo believers, rise up. Let your voices be known. That was a really good game from Nerd Out.
Really good game.
Again, a tough matchup to circumnavigate. Again, hand control as a deck that where you want to have all your resources in hand is tough, but able to come out on top there. And for those of you wondering on the updates, King Heracross and Ryan now are still playing out their game in top 8. That is Bayonet Gardevoir going up against Pidgeot Control and another our Iron Thorns mirror between Joe Maressa and no abilities initialization, otherwise known as the artist known as Cal Connor, my GOAT, one of the best players from the Pacific Northwest. And that's locked up at 1 apiece. So the portable chargers are charging each other still.
Is that the... you might want to refresh the page there, bud, because I'm seeing this as Ryan now 1-0, currently 1 game up over King Heracross, but no ability initialization taking the win over Joe Maressa 2-1.
Sick. Good job, Cal. Yeah, I had to refresh my page. My bad, guys.
Good job. Good job.
Good job,
Mission
Internet.
complete. So yeah, the winner of this set that you see on your stream right now will play against the Iron Thorns. Actually, both sides are going to be playing against Iron Thorns because JM Warrior on the other side, patiently waiting on the winner of King Heracross and Ryan now, is also on the Iron Thorns.
We're so back, baby.
They are... The Chargers are charging.
Yeah, Iron Thorns versus the field, folks. Who y'all got? So strap in. It's gonna be a fun one for sure.
Half a top 8's pretty good conversion rate, or half a top 4 rather is pretty good conversion rate.
Not bad. Hot take.
Not
Bad at all.
50% is a lot. It's a high number. It's your odds of hitting a hits.
All right, so round 2 getting started here. We are going to once again stack the deck with some goodies here. So Nerd Out going to be able to choose a couple of cards here to set to get drawn on this next turn. Ooh, go get him, coin toss. 1. Uh-oh.
Whoa. Oh, man, we were close to that first turn knockout. Just needed 2 more. First attack knockout on a Mimikyu as well. Mimikyu was a little bit of a thorn in the previous game, forced a very slow game state. Get some immediate damage on it, and this is just placed Regieleki past turn.
Yep, we do have the Pidgey established though, so you can at least get your turn to Pidgeot, which is very important.
Makes you wonder what's in the hand over there, Kyle. Like if it's something like just waiting for the knockout to happen for if that's Serendipity, or trying to get low on prize cards, lower than on prize cards for some other way to unbrick the hand.
Yeah, I'm curious what you got there. It's possibly some some supporters that you don't want to utilize right away. Again, I think knowing when to strike the hand and when to go for the deck in these sort of matchups are important. Now, we're going to see Gholdengo hit the deck here.
Well, that's going to be a card. Your hand is looking better here, and you do have the Palkia V-Star, which is going to be evolved, but we're passing the turn over because this Mimikyu cannot be damaged.
No, yeah, it's unfortunately a scenario where you don't have the canceling clone. However, you do have the Cypher Maniac next turn. Okay, we're just going to insta charge. So I guess if you want to go for the Cypher Maniac to stack that clone, you could go for it here.
It's a big commitment, but Lost City Earthen Vessel is the pick.
Okay. I guess prioritizing that, hey, let me try to just build my resources up, get my hand as large as possible. But we also could be seeing them try to set up for a for the Greninja play here.
Yeah, can't be too mad at something like that, Kyle. Like the Mimikyu is a thorn in the side and it's annoying, but the real problem of Pidgeot
Oh, I think that's
control
exactly what we're
is
going for here.
yeah, is Pidgeot. So hey, if we're able to instead focus on, hey, I'm gonna not worry about the Mimikyu. It's gonna be frustrating. It's gonna be a long game, but the card is in the deck. Oh, and we can hit that one too. For some reason I thought Moonlight Shuriken could only hit bench Pokemon. We're gonna clear two birds with one stone, including that extra Pidgey. The setup for the Pidgeot play, the Greninja line, just so effective in their early game.
Yep, and the best part, Henry, is that Lost City was also utilized there as well. So those two Pokemon are now out of your hair for the rest of the game. You do not have to worry about them, which is awesome. So
No more Mimikyu. One Pidgey gone. One Pidgey remains in the deck.
yeah, so Liam now finds himself in an awkward spot here, where with just a bunch of support Pokemon, on the table, a big hand, but what can they do with it? That's the question.
To find out. Really mulling it over here.
Yeah, definitely kind of a swing point here in the game. You don't want to give your, you don't want to throw yourself on the sword too soon.
Or Seal Stone is the immediate attach.
Yep, not a bad card to have here. It will allow you to grab whatever you might be missing to kind of, get yourself over the hump here if you're Liam.
Card was chosen off the Forest Seal Stone, and Counter Catcher comes in, putting the Palkia just out in front.
Yep, again, not a bad option. Palkia is now a very viable, option to get stuck in the active here if you're Liam, because you've already utilized that star portal. And there we go. We're going to hit the Iono here instead. We still do have a number of switch outs left in the deck. Ooh, we find the Kansai Clone and the Prime Catcher, Henry. That's good stuff to have for later, so that we could have that false insecurity here. And we have the Earthen Vessel as well, so we will be able to at least get a powered-up Palkia the next turn. So we could just see a pass back here from Nerd Out.
Yeah, I think you're not trying to discard anything and rush too deep into it with Earthen Vessel, like pitch something like Canceling Clone or the Cypher Maniac. Now, what you get to represent, well, or at least what this hand represents on the following turn, should nothing happen, is Cypher Maniac to stack your deck, coin bonus to draw exactly what you stack, a switch in, a way to shut down your opponent's abilities, and Earthen Vessel to either make it so that this Palkia is the attacker or the Gholdengo is. Like, this hand is exactly what you need on top of whatever is coming up next. And once more, it seems like Jack is, or Nerd Out, is representing some very strong position through just use of patience and planning.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We do have the Prime Catcher in hand here. That Hero's Cape on the Regieleki going to be a little frustrating, but going to promote the Greninja here instead and retreat out. Looks like we're going to go for the Palkia. I think there is just enough bench Pokemon down. I believe 6 is enough to do... I think 6 is enough, definitely, to do 200. So I think we're at 2... Yeah, we're exactly at 200. Okay, you need 7.
Cypher Maniac draw 1 is on the table. Considering if he wants to do that later, don't blame him. Make sure you get exactly what you need when you need it. But choosing to go for it now in order to set up a Bidoof and a Bibarel as the next couple draws.
There we go. Gonna hit the Bidoof. And we're just
The
gonna swing
Beaver,
for the. He's look how happy he is.
the Beaver will be online next turn. That's 2 prize cards, just like that. Thanks to the Prime Catcher putting in the Rotom.
Yeah, no, excellent stuff right there from Nerd Out. Let's see if what Liam's response is going to be. We're going to Ultra Ball here to now establish what I imagine is the Pidgeot.
The draw 3 with the Pheasantipede as well. The hand and board state has never looked bad. It's just diminishing returns against the blunt object that is Gholdengo.
You ever, ran into a tower of coins before? I imagine it hurts.
Yeah, face first, not a pretty image.
And here we go.
Catcher. Well,
Again,
that's
we
a pretty
see-
good draw.
Not bad. Again, we see the expert stack as well with that Cypher Maniac the turn before. It allows you to draw out of a barrel, which makes you Iono proof. However, you still got to get this guy out of the active, though. Or just draw another Gholdengo.
Or just had 4 outs or 3 outs in the deck. Wasn't sure if Heavy Ball was not an out because only 2 left, and pretty sure he saw all of the needed cards. Another Gholdengo, gonna get him another draw. After this, the additional Superior Energy Retrieval already has the energy in hand and draws into the game winning. Because you attach the energy and superior take the game.
All right. Excellent stuff there from Nerd Out. Again, taking it over the control deck. 2 really hard back-to-back matchups for Nerd Out in Charizard and Pidgeot control. So they now have the pleasure of playing against, again, another top player in their own regard, one of the best players in North America last season, and the one of the 4 horsemen of controlling archetypes, Cal Connor, with the quad Thorns deck. So another interesting scenario here that Nerd Out finds himself in. And guess what? We're just going to keep it here. It's the Gholdengo show tonight. How about that, guys?
We're watching the run of Nerd Out until he nerds out.
Godspeed.
The other side, Godspeed. Oh, we're grooving. The other side of top 4 is going to be Jam Warrior up against Ryan Now, which Ryan Now is also streaming, so we should be able to get either all the way through finals tonight, presumably, unless it's maybe a Iron Thorns mirror, because I have not seen either of the 2 Iron Thorns players streaming.
I think Cal can stream if he needs to, so I don't think that would be an impossible ask. But we'll see what happens. Cool. And either way, we should have some interesting gameplay to look forward to. All right, now
waiting on the start.
Yep, and while we do that, we can take a look at Cal Connor's quad Thorns list. Pretty standard stuff across the board of just playing the 4 copies of Iron Thorns EX. Definitely this matchup I feel like is very strange to me. Things like there's certain things in this deck that will definitely pose problems for Gholdengo. Gholdengo not being able to draw cards at leisure is going to be annoying. But you still have access to Bibarel. Bibarel is not a rule box Pokemon, so if you can establish a Bidoof Bibarel early, you can give yourself a fraction of your draw power. And also stuff like Crushing Hammers aren't necessarily super effective in a matchup like this because Gholdengo's a 1 energy attacker. So you have plenty of ways to recover that energy. So it's not like you mind losing it off your Pokemon. So I think that one of Canceling Clone is going to be huge here. I think that one huge turn that Nerd Out will be able to generate because of it will be huge. So Let's see what happens. I'm very interested to see how this is going to play out.
Yeah, so much of this deck feels like it's ready to beat down any Rulebox Pokemon, of course, by the nature of Iron Thorns, but particularly Pokemon like the Charizard that likes to accelerate energy to itself, or like things the Regidrago, which has a multitude of different types of energy. Like Crushing Hammer does, as you mentioned, does little, and Enhanced Hammer does nothing. There's no special energies in the Gholdengo list. And it's so aside from the ability stun from the Iron Thorns, not much of the rest of the hand is super imposing. It's just going to be a matter of how when those cards end up coming down and the hand composition and of course patience of play that come from Nerd Out in order for Calvin to really seize control.
Yeah, no, it's definitely going to be an interesting exchange here. And, in the past, Gholdengo has played cards like Silene to really help you in these controlling matchups because it gives you the flexibility of getting that Canceling Cologne back for a second time. I've even seen some lists go as far as just playing a second Canceling Cologne because you just kind of get your breaks beat off by these Quad Thorn decks. This matchup on paper isn't great for Gholdengo, but it is very doable. And Nerdouts fought their way through two very, very hard matchups so far, so I would not be surprised to see them do it a third time. But opening coin flips coming through Henry. It looks like Nerdout has won the coin flip and will be opting to go first.
Yep, Evolution Attacker wants to set up first, and that's solid hand, solid opening. Not a ton of energies going around, but a Gholdengo evolution to start, Irida as well to get yourself a Greninja. Only 2 mulligans as well, with only 4 Pokemon in the deck. That the mulligan count can get up there. Oh, and Canceling Cologne off the top 2 thanks to the mulligan.
Yeah, that's gonna be huge. No, that's a huge card to find off the rip right there. So now that really opens up things nicely here for Nerd Out. Potentially to pop off. In the following turn, and we have the Bidoof and the Ultra Ball to go get the Barrel later. So good stuff all around. Depending on what's in the hand for Cal, we could see a strong turn 2 here for Nerd Out.
Yeah, not playing anything for the hand. Just immediately Capsule, the second Thorns, and Research. Is that triple Research in hand? That's rough.
That's rough, buddy. All right, and we top deck the Metal Energy. My gosh.
The top of Nerd Out's deck is a big fan of him today. Right now.
Yeah, bro's really got it going for him right now.
Takes 5 energies in order to knock out this Iron Thorns. Contemplating the discard with this Ultra Ball. Going for Iono and Boss's Orders as the pitch. And so Bibarel can come down for free.
We could potentially see the Irida get played here as well, just to kind of thin out an extra card here and get some more guys established. Looks like Greninja is nowhere to be found. God bless his soul.
Tragic.
Gone but not forgotten.
Had to be missing something.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
It's never that easy.
Never will be. Not even gonna play the Canceling Cologne for potential card draw. You might not need it, especially since you're gonna be getting 3 more energy here, or 3 energy in total here with the 1 already, and you get to Incisors for 2.
Yeah, not a bad play either. Just keeping that hand size strong.
Incisors for 1, excuse me.
Yep. There we go. Just going to drop that 3 energies right there. Again, no energy attached to the active Iron Thorns. So, but we do have a future booster capsule attached, so that will allow that Pokemon free retreat out of harm's way. I think Cal knew that was going to be a factor he would have had to play into here, given what his hand probably looked like to start. But here we go.
Future boost capsule played on both sides now, on both of the Iron Thorns, and a Judge.
Yep, very good stuff. And Volt Cycle, I'm going to do the 140, move that energy back to the damaged Iron Thorns. And gone is the canceling cologne, Henry. So now it's forced to the bottom of the deck.
You'll have to fish it out eventually, but the lack of card draw on this Gholdengo will be a problem for sure.
There we go.
Another one.
Only going to get a draw of 2 off of this Industrious Incisors.
That's enough. Enough for a knockout.
There we go. All we needed is 2.
1 energy off the top. Can he rip the Greninja?
Hey!
Yes, he can.
Now, granted, he's going to have to find the canceling cologne to fully utilize the Greninja. But Cal's going to have to get a Pokemon on deck here. We're going to see the Lost City and the Double Turbo Energy come into play here.
At the very least, though, these are all cards that you can play as the knockout comes down on the Gholdengo. 2 cards off the top of the prize card pile on the side of Calvin. Superior Energy Retrieval is a nice pickup because we know for a fact there are 5 in the discard pile right now. Contemplating the Iono, choosing to play the Greninja first before the Iono strikes.
There you go. And still no access to the canceling clone just yet. So I got to find it. We're going to get one big one off the top rope with the barrel here. Sure.
It's cards you can play next turn when you get to Incisors again, at the very least. You're not drawing dead.
Nope, that's very, very true. And here we go. Going to attach the metal energy. Oh, coin toss.
How many can we get? 0.
You will get nothing. Good day, sir.
2 would be the amount it would have needed to matter, because that would have knocked it down the requirements by 1 energy discard. However, this boss's order is going to immediately take out the Bidoof, and suddenly we are in a stalemate position. Wow,
Ooh.
That's a good rip.
Yeah, and you can use the Irida to get the canceling cologne here, so this could be the turn we're looking for where we can just draw through what we need. We're going to grab the Palkia V-Star and the Superior Energy Retrieval. Actually, oh yeah, we don't even need... Yeah, we just needed the Gholdengo because we're going to get 4 energies here. We have 5 in a hand. That's enough for a knockout. Math, baby.
Acknowledging what's in the discard pile, keeping that in mind. 5 in discard, and being able to pick up 4 just means you win the game right here.
Yeah, great stuff there from a Nerd Out. They take game 1 over Cal Connor as we await our game 2 here, Henry.
Sometimes all you need is that stage 2. Is that stage 1 even. Ripped it right off the top and had everything else in place already for a knockout blow. Nice setup there from this side. Again, on the side of Nerd Out, who has just been absolutely amazing with the sequencing and patience of play, knowing what he needs to do to win and when he needs to do it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. All right, here we go. Gholdengo running the gauntlet here. Can we see Gholdengo punch its ticket into finals here, Henry? We shall soon find out.
If he does, the opponent for him will be Ryan Now, who gets the win over JM Warrior. Ryan Now on the Bennett Gardevoir, who's waiting in finals.
All right, well, the Iron Thorns stumble at the finish line. That mulligan's not going to help anybody, though, so. I'm also going to step away from my computer for 2 seconds, Henry, so I'll be back in just a sec.
You're all good. Mulligan on not going to be super helpful, but getting double Gimme Ghoul with a Gholdengo in hand, double Nest Ball as well. So the bones are there for a solid opener if it wasn't Iron Thorns, who now gets to sit here, stun out, an attached energy. Hand is clearly mucked up with the rest of the disruption type cards. Has the Bidoof. Bidoof is good. Pheasantipity is also good. But we're not expecting a knockout to be taken anytime soon. Greninja also an option. That seems to be the choice here with the double Gimme Ghoul already. But nothing more to do besides that. So we pass the turn over. Nothing too crazy happening, but you're planning on playing the slow anyway. Pokegear for Judge. Pokegear again for Arvin. 8 cards in hand. Arvin is the supporter of choice right now. Gonna be waiting for a little bit to see when that Judge needs to be used first and foremost. Contemplation. Oh, we're attaching the TM. That is Technical Machine Turbo Energize. We're just going to get some basic energy cards and attach them right onto the Iron Thorns, who we have now 2 of 3 dinosaurs just waiting in the wings, and we are going to Turbo Energize and attach some of those lightning energies 2 right onto another one of those Iron Thorns, who is now both of them 1 energy away from attacking. The Gholdengo will be able to survive a hit, but doesn't get to draw a card. No search cards in sight. Oh, and the Earthen Vessel comes down as well on the side of Calvin, who is now just fully set up and fully energized.
my.
Oh, that's a lot. Wow. Lost City boss's order. Let us banish this Bidoof to realms unknown.
Cleveland, Ohio. Excuse me, Sandusky, Ohio. So.
Yeah. To another dimension.
To the Kalahari to the Kalahari resorts with you, sir.
That's a real stinker if you are Nerd Out, because now you don't have card draw, and you don't have Bibarel. You've got Mons. I mean, the Gholdengo is there, but can't do anything. You're just kind of waiting for the energies to get here, and if I'm being honest, Kyle, I don't think they're gonna come in time.
Yeah, this is kind of an odd spot to be in right now. Here we go. We're going to see the research hit the deck here. So now Calvin gets a whole new hand to play with here. And this is pretty... It's looking... I don't want to say, like, totally chalked right now, but it's getting close to chalk territory. You got a big hand. You got 2 fully set up. Whoa. The bread's moving.
No matter how many Gimme Ghouls are on the bench, none of them solve the outstanding issue.
No, there's a lot of Iron Thorns on the bench right now.
Yeah, Colress is Tenacity, and that's gonna fish out some remaining cards. Double Turbo.
We were, as the kids say, cooked, possibly.
Yeah.
Do the kids still say that? I'm out of touch. So.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I say it. I don't classify as a child, but I say it.
Thank God.
So take some solace in that whenever you find.
Oh, this is not good.
This is,
This is not good, Henry.
It's tough. It's tough. So sometimes it happens. Sometimes it happens. You're playing against, like, this is what Iron Thorns does. Like, haha, your engine doesn't work, and I get to punch repeatedly.
And my engine punches you in the face. So.
Yeah. You might have to retreat out. It depends on what's the composition of the hand. I mean, there's 11 energies, and we've seen 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the 7 lightning and 2 of the double turbos.
The confuse react coming in handy there.
Oh, but the gimme goal's chilling. He's gonna take that punch.
He's hanging in there. He's being a very brave boy right now.
Yeah, but Gholdengo can't escape. So get back in here.
No, I'm not done with you yet. All right, it's going to be, once again, a knocked out Gholdengo. This kid's basically all said and done here. This is not good.
Oh, this draw's gonna kill it though. Oh yeah.
Yo, Barrel.
There's the bid barrel.
Barrel is useless in this game anyway. And bro did not show up for work.
Well,
all right. That was a game.
That was one of the games of all time.
Yeah, but like you said, sometimes you're gonna have those games where it's just not very competitive nor fun for you. So we've got that out of the system now. Let's see if we can possibly rebound for a much more competitive game 3 here.
Wow, what's there more to say?
Yep.
Damn.
It was beautiful.
It happened.
C'est magnifique.
Yep. Exactly how you draw it up if you're Calvin.
Yeah, no, that was pretty expertly played on Cal's side. So here we go, folks. Game number trace coming up here between these two. Can Nerd Out continue the run here through the Gholdengo gauntlet, or will Cal Connor, make a trip to late night NA finals? We shall soon find out, Henry.
We will learn firsthand right here. Drawn the opener. This might just be energy pass, but you do get what is presumably a mulligan.
Yeah, only 2 mulligans again. Wow.
Drawn well.
Yeah, I gotta say, Cal's really escaping. Is really escaping the trials and tribulations of Iron Thorns here, because, again, it's a deck that only plays 4 Pokemon, so you tend to mulligan a lot, and only getting away with a couple, a slap on the wrist, if you may, to start both these games is really huge.
Canceling Cologne as well in the opening hand here, considering the Pokestop activation, but chose to pass on that. Just sitting on a Gimme Ghoul with a Metal Energy attached. Iron Thorns typically does not attack on the first turn. There's not a ton of energy acceleration in its deck. You're just looking to hang out for a bit. Though that double turbo is an excellent start, and the radar too, to get a pair of Iron Thorns right to hand.
Yeah, great start there for Calvin. And here comes the hammer. And then I'll smash it with the hammer. It misses.
Evaded expertly, though. Oh man, that judge is brutal.
Well, actually, that's not that bad.
The Greninja's not ideal, but in the light of current events, all that you want to make your superior energy retrievals live as early as possible, and that's 3 energy in the discard. Not bad.
Yep. No, we'll take that. And there's also these scenarios where you can play these judges, and you could also put yourself in a really bad hand if you're Cal, but able to hit the Pokegear and find the Arven there. So Cal going to be able to get a tool as well as an item card here. I'm assuming the future booster capsule will be the tool we grab. As for the item, I'm not sure. We are pretty well set up right now. The Earthen Vessel, I think the vessel could be a viable grab here.
I could see the one of Technical Machine Turbo Energize as well. Something he searched Arvin a previous game. That is going to be what he's going for, as well as the Crushing Hammer whiffing again.
Sad.
But the Turbo Energize, and thanks to the double Turbo Energy, that's immediately going to accelerate 2 of those lightning energies from the deck.
Yeah, no, good stuff right there from Cal. Again, knowing that your opponent only has a 1-card hand, so barring anything crazy, you are going to, be able to play this bit of a slower game here. And yeah, nothing to write home about here.
Gholdengo survives 1 hit.
Third time.
If any of...
Yikes.
That's tough. If any of those hit, it puts the hole that Nerd Out is currently in astronomical. It's massive. But none of them did. So
No. Very sad.
is what it is. As oh, nice.
Oh, brother. Yikes.
Card games.
Ability
Pokemon
lock.
the trading card game.
2024 copyright.
The pickup thanks to Penny.
Emoting strongly once again.
Yeah, not much to do about that. The double turbo energy attached will allow the survival of 3 hits on this Golden. Oh my god. Well, there they all are. There's all the guys.
The
They're
gang's
all
all
here.
here. Oh, man. That is just tough stuff, man.
That's tough. That's tough.
Oh, not the Devo. That's just mean.
Is that even worth it?
Yeah, sure.
Wouldn't you rather? I guess, right?
Nah, they're just going to go for the Volt Cyclone. Do we see a 5th Gholdengo hit the hand here? Did we manage to sneak another one in?
Yeah, the 5th Gholdengo from the binder is going to come out. Well, what? That's the dude.
He's a guy, all right.
If there's a sequence of draws that gets you out of this, it is access to Bidoof into access to Bibarel. But no, we are going to... This beaver will not last to the sunrise.
No, he is going to... he's going to be tried for his crimes in the high court and be sentenced to death in Lost City. So, see ya.
Farewell, my sweet prince.
Take a good long rest, like they say in the anime. So,
Iron Thorns, man. What a deck.
hey, not the energy we needed, but yeah, this is just not good. And now we have again basically the perfect board state here for Cal. Oh my God, make it stop. The humanity.
Punch. And then we attach.
Pass it back.
Oh, 3 Iron Thorns again, by the way. just able to cycle between. Irida's a nice draw. It's a playable card.
You just need so many pieces, though. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Like,
Like
do you
the
go for the cologne
one
now just to try to draw your way out of what's going on? I guess you kind of have to at this point.
yeah. Right? Like, 'cause you kind of just need card economy. You're only going to get the 2 cards, but
You get 2 there, you get 2
oh.
with Greninja. And I guess you can't go for Fez because actually, was there a knockout last turn?
yeah, the Bidoof, right? Oh no, that
Oh
was 2 turns ago.
no. No, I'm sorry. I'm
Nope.
sorry, Nerd Out. It's not gonna work.
Sorry, boss.
Fizzanipity didn't make it. I'm sorry, pal.
Do you like Prime Catcher? If you're trying to just play it out, like, do you Prime Catcher here? For
I guess I mean, it's kind of a rough spot to be in. All these guys are souped up. You were looking down the barrel of like some people's worst nightmares. This new sleep paralysis demon just dropped. It's 3 Iron Thorns with energies on them.
yeah, stanced up, fully charged. And the Volt Cyclone's gonna take out the final Gholdengo, and
Yep.
yeah, that's a concession
There.
right there.
Hanging up a valiant effort from the Golden Goat himself tonight, Nerd Out. But that is going to be game, set, and a match. So excellent stuff right there from Nerd Out. Valiant effort finishing in top 4 here.
Absolutely.
So let's we haven't been on camera all night, Henry. Let's kick it back to us for a second while we recoup and figure out if we're gonna get a stream match out of this. So get there for 2 seconds, guys.
I'll play.
Hi guys, remember us? This is what we look like.
We're back.
We're so back. Again,
We
shout
are
outs to
so here.
shout outs to a heck of a run there from Nerd Out. Love to see it. I'm a Gholdengo stan. That is my guy. Like I said, I keep that thing on me at all times. I love this deck. I love it so much, except when I brick. But look at how handsome he is. Look at how handsome he is.
He looks great. He's certainly a looker. Played very well on the side of Nerd Out. Just when allowed to orchestrate and make decisions, he was making some pretty good decisions and playing the game pretty well. Unfortunately, he ran into the deck that says no decisions are allowed to be made.
Yeah, that'll do it.
A little bit harder. But that's going to be... that's going to seal no ability initialization on one side, Ryan now on the other.
And I think we do have a stream match. So
yeah, Ryan seems to be streaming. So, any
Hey.
thoughts before we bounce over?
I got nothing. Go Cal. Cal's my guy. So let's do it. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. Iron Thorns is silly, so it'll be fun to see a different spin tonight. So hang tight, guys. Finals coming right up. All right, here we go, folks. We're getting into it, and I have to adjust my screen now because we are in. There we go. Full screen.
All right. First sighting of Ryan now tonight on the Bennett Gardevoir.
Yeah, Bennett is real cool.
Yeah. But being able to sacrifice itself into the lost zone for any supporter in the discard, and then you get to play a high number of supporters, all of which have a vast number of powerful effects. Of course, the 4 Ionos, the researches, of which you're playing 2 of, which aren't usually seen in Gardevoir. I usually see it like as a 1 of, but now you get to play 2 of it. Boss's Orders, you get 2 of it. Cypher Maniac, Turo, which is something that is very valuable as a reusable tool. An interesting lineup, to say the least. On top, you have that's the normal Bennett, that's like non-EX, and then you get Bennett EX to prevent item cards from being played, as well as the extra damage multiplier should there be any trainer cards in the opponent's hand. So you get a solid attacker off of it, and some flexibility off of the Bennett uh, from lore.
Let me tell you, man, Bayonet EX is so sick. Item locking is so gas. And we're immediately passing the buck right back to Cal here. And if we can establish a... actually, I think that first attack from Shup is actually going to be huge. I think if you flip a coin, and if it hits heads... yeah, you're active. Okay, so it does 10 damage, and if you hit heads on the coin flip, your opponent can't play items from their hand the next turn, which is pretty good. Item lock has historically always been very good in the Pokemon TCG, so I think this is going to be very, very crucial here for Ryan now to get off the ground, because you're going to be ability locked. I don't believe I saw anything in the deck that. No, there is no Flutter Mane. There is no canceling Cologne, so it's probably just gonna be a lot of Bayonet, just item locking you in place, and not giving you the opportunity to really play the game. So we'll see how it works out here. I've never seen this matchup in practice, so I'm assuming it's probably not that bad for Guardy if you can get the Bayonet set up.
Yeah, and you don't lose any of your draw pile, of your draw power. And there is a little card in there known as Spiritomb, which basic Pokemon V in play. Iron Thorns is EX, never mind. So Spiritomb is my fault.
Yeah.
So
Spiritomb was
super helpful.
He's a grief card for other decks. Spiritomb was the OG grief card from UV Max. And now he just kind of plays golf on the weekend to stop Luminion from drawing cards or something. So
that damned fish. Can't let it roam free.
Not in this economy.
No, not in the least. Well, these Shuppets are certainly going to be eating some big hits. But that's fine, because that's one prize card at a time. Though a very early setup with the double turbo and the lightning energy on that first Iron Thorns, as well as the booster capsule as well for the free retreat.
Yeah, thinking about what to do here. Looks like we are going to promote the Ralts instead. Could evolve into Curlia. We do have a plethora of cards in the hand here. We are going to Refinement first. Get the energy in the discard pile, I believe. Or just going to go for the research instead. Discard that. Draw 2. Oh, hi, Bayonet.
Yeah, I like this a lot from Ryan here, because you're never going to be able to utilize Gardevoir EX. That is just a off the table card.
Okay, we're just gonna boss. Go ahead.
No, it's just that was keeping the energies in hand allows you to more effectively set up your attackers, because you're not able to use your engine. You're pivoting off of that, bossing out the other Iron Thorns into pass here. Kyle, what do you think?
Not a bad play. You're forcing Cal to have to, have the Arven in hand to get this guy out of the active, and we're gonna go for the Crushing Hammers. Gonna miss this one, so this energy on the board does stay safe. We're gonna attach the booster capsule to pivot out, and there we go. You get a booster capsule. You get a booster capsule. Everyone gets a booster capsule. We're now going to pop this Volt Cyclone for 140. So one more of those. So that is going to spell knockout for Bayonet here. But a one-card hand for Cal. This could be dangerous straights here. This could be exactly where Ryan wanted to put him.
Yeah, now you get to Refinement. Bayonet doesn't get to last much longer than this one turn. While Banette EX is ability to shut off item cards is huge. It's only doing 30 damage, and it's not preventing attacks. So this Artisan does get to set up at the Monkey Dory. Oh, that could be huge in order to help this Banette's survivability.
Yeah, but no darkness energy in hand though. You're gonna have to go for the Iono and see what you get off the riff here. We also haven't refinement yet, but instead I think we're just gonna go for the Iono first. Also, having that one card in hand isn't necessarily as bad here for Cal because now he has he does have the flexibility to just pivot back and forth between whatever Iron Thorns has the energy on it. But it doesn't matter, getting a full fresh hand of 5 anyway, which actually bodes well into Everlasting Darkness. It will, again, keep the items from being played from the hand, and then you eventually build up that hand big enough to where you swing for a big knockout with Poltergeist. Whether we'll get there or not is to be determined, but we shall see what happens.
The contemplation is real here. Having a lot of cards in hand now, thanks to the refinement, contemplating on what the discard is, fully acknowledging, as I mentioned earlier, the Gardevoir EX is just not a effective mon in this matchup. You need to put all of your eggs into the Banette basket. That seems to be the game plan.
Yeah, seems like it. Ooh, okay, we're going to maybe pray that there's a lot of item cards in the hand. And there is just enough. I believe it's trainer cards, not item cards that I reread that attack.
Yeah.
Trainer
Everlasting
cards,
Darkness prevents items, but Poltergeist does damage for each trainer card. Of which, good thing for Iron Thorns, has 45 of them in the complete main deck.
And it's a 60 times too. That's a lot of damage to be had on the table here.
The hard part though is going to be the setting up another Banette. This luminous energy helps.
Yeah, but still, yes, still gonna be a rough spot to be in here.
Yeah, going with the Mew instantly. It's a free retreater as well, so certainly helps immediately, or flexible immediately. Got some energy in the discard. Drew a psychic energy for turn, and is going to maybe attach that to the Banette, considering.
Yeah, thinking about what to do here. Cypher Maniac coming into play here. Great card in combination with Curlia. Allows you to, again, stack whatever you might need here.
Prime Catcher, Psychic Energy is the choice. Then we attach the Psychic Energy. Counter Catcher is not on the table, so it might prove to be behoovant. Discard, choosing to not. This Mew does survive a hit.
Yeah, you can survive the lone hit here. You're going to see the pass back here, and the boss's orders come up. Again, going to boss up said Banette. Just kind of poke into this guy now. I will say one of the benefits here for Ryan is that they are on the even prize cards. So it is going to force Cal to have to take the extra knockout to win this game.
The next few draws are known, or one of the next draw is known. You need this refinement. Boss's orders doesn't help. Both of the opponent's Pokemon are the same.
There you go. Super Rod coming back in to get some of those important resources back. Looks like just going to be a Shuppet and a couple of Psychic Energies.
We've seen 2 Bayonet EXs so far, Kyle. Only one more remain in the deck.
Yep, I think if all goes well, you do see the counter catcher come out here to hit the guy with the energy on it. For a smart move, eliminate these lightning energies if you can, and we're just going to possibly dump the hand. So we're going to go for the Poltergeist. And I think we're just one. Yeah, we're one short. Only doing 180 there.
That's brutal. Oh, the penny as well in order to get the Iron Thorns out of danger and refresh all of its health, reattach everything that was on it. That is brutal. Because this Banette is not going to survive the night. It's with the Volt Cyclone following right up, hitting it for another 140 into the 280 mark, and there's no other attackers ready to go with only one prize card remaining on the side of Calvin, who is manipulating his hand just enough in order to keep all of his this loop of Iron Thorns to Iron Thorns around.
Yeah, whiffing that KO is huge news for Ryan. It means that Cal can kind of just take his time at his leisure for this knockout here. There is no Bayonet on the board right now. There's no real offensive threat at all. So, there's going to be no, at least possibly no swing of damage here.
At the very least, playing it out. And
Yep,
the net is now in hand.
But will it survive? That's the next question.
Nah. You get one more turn. Presumably. I mean, canceling Cologne comes down.
Oh.
Judge.
Okay, not bad. We got one more hit in us.
I guess that Judge was the dig attempt for one of the 4 boss's orders.
Yeah, I mean, we'll
Didn't
see
end
if
up
we.
getting it.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if we have it in hand for the next turn. But at this point, it might not matter too much. But we're gonna see if they're gonna be able to get it on the next turn. Again, just trying to play out the game, see what we can get here. Bayonet coming down. All right. Evolving into Curlia.
Yeah, just plan it out all the way. Double refinement, you're drawing cards, but no matter what you leave in, it does go down to either one of these Iron Thorns.
Yep, there we go. Guess the other energy, guess retreat out. Do we have exactly 4 trainer cards in hand? Oh!
2.
Count them 2. Oh, okay. Enhanced Hammer seeing some play here. Interesting.
You're getting that special energy off of the Banette, so now it can attack. Still only doing 120 thanks to the double turbo energy. So it's going to take 3 hits in order to get this Banette out of here. What we are looking for exactly. We can't even look for block orders anymore. The heads hits and contemplating concession, conceding is Ryan for game number 1.
Yeah, at that point you're just kind of delaying the inevitable, so it's like, you kind of just have to take that in stride. But that's going to be game 1 going to Cal Connor. 1 game away from being a late night champion tonight. And again, we saw how effective Poltergeist was on that first knockout, but just coming up short a couple of extra times. It's amazing how, for a deck that plays a lot of trainer cards, didn't really have a lot of them in hand at multiple times.
It's the beauty of hand manipulation on your own front, right? Like that's where these 4 copies of Judges played at really nice timings, always to make sure that the Bennett, even whenever Bennett was a threat, it kind of became null and void because your hand suddenly went down to 4 cards. And if you play any of your cards right, 3 at most should be trainer cards, allowing any of the Iron Thorns to survive 1 hit. Just fully aware of what his opponent's win condition is and playing around it. Nice stuff from Calvin, who is 1 game away from being the late night champion here at late night number 210.
Yeah, we're in the 200s now, baby. We're out here.
Yeah. We're hitting the big numbers, big boy numbers.
Soon the world.
You start.
Yeah, starting against, no surprise, the Iron Thorns.
There's no mulligan there? That's crazy.
No, that's nuts, man. Like,
And then, oof.
Missing. All right, not a bad turn there for Ryan, but let's see if Cal has the gas to rebound here. So far, Arvin to get what you need is very effective.
How many are in the deck? 2 more. Could not craft a better hand, honestly.
No, pretty good. And there you go. We're rolling out.
Just emptying out the hand to play as much as possible. Then the Turbo Energize to accelerate 2 more energy. Get that 140 damage clock starting as soon as possible.
Yep, but we do have the Ultra Ball to go get this Bayonet EX if we need to, Henry. It looks like that's what we're contemplating right now. I think we're going to ditch the Counter Catcher and the other Ultra Ball. Makes sense.
Considering not the other Ultra Ball, but deciding against it, needs the rest. Monkey Dory being able to shift around some damage counters could prove invaluable in a long game, which these games are inevitably going to go a little bit longer, just by the nature of Iron Thorns. The clock is 140. That's what the clock is every turn.
Yeah, it's kind of it's tough, especially if you don't you have to hit your attachments every turn, especially since you don't have access to Psychic Embrace, which means you also have to make sure you don't get your stuff crushing hammered or enhanced hammered, which is important.
Absolutely. And we see the attachment management online here for Ryan now. I mean, that Bennett is a effective attacker right now. If there is a switch on the forefront, which this Mew is a free retreat, will be able to shut down any and all item cards in the opponent's hand, which we're deciding if we want to go for that. Instead, choosing to go for the Poltergeist, perhaps, just for the maximum amount of damage per turn and keep the DPS high, of which that is going to be a 120.
Not bad, but one of those cards looks to be the the research to again help you avoid these small hand problems. Here comes the hammer. See ya.
Have we seen it hit?
Once.
Okay.
1 out of 5 ain't bad, I guess. That's somebody's odds.
Could be worse.
Could be way worse.
20%.
Right, but here we go again. That clock, like you mentioned before, is being set up here. The Volt Cyclone for the 120 this time with the DTE attached.
You get to move some attached cards and get right back to work. The hammer not hitting still means that this Iron Thorns is under a little bit of duress. If chosen to be the carrier of the burden at all. I mean, 4 cards in hand now. And you know one of them is not an Iron Thorns. The last Iron Thorns is in the discard pile. I think you also know that 2 of them are energy. Well, now you know none of them.
No.
Which is arguably better.
Yeah. Right, here we go. Gonna draw 2 with the refinement after discarding a card. He gets that second curly. Not bad.
Cards will be drawn. Has to maximize every single attach as well, which was done already, as the Banette is, or the Shuppet on the bench has a...
Oh, gosh.
Ooh, that is damage.
He's dead. He's already dead.
First prize card's going to Ryan. And that's big. Especially because you know the 6 cards in hand, the 7 cards in hand now. So plenty of them will be played out, but that's a lot of trainer cards. Heads is rough.
There you go. Research once again. Going to hit. Oh, God. All the supporters are gone.
TE as the pick, and then you get the Turbo. Lost City is a better hand for Calvin, as he just gets to play out as much damage as much of the cards in hand as possible, reducing damage, though you do take the knockout regardless, able to even up the prize card counter here, Kyle.
Yep, we're going to promote that Mew. The free pivot is huge here. And again, we have Ultra Ball to once again chase down the Banette, but it's going to take 2 whole turns to power that thing up. So I don't quite know how much time Ryan's going to be playing with here, but we're gonna see.
Got the super route to shuffle back some of that energy, give yourself the most amount of odds of seeing any of it off of these Curlias. The draw engine proving pivotal, double Shuppet, refinement immediately. Can't afford to pitch the final Shuppet, though you may get rid of the Banette that is potentially to be a evolution. Need those Banette EXs.
Yep, again, we still have that Ultra Ball in hand to go get that, but like I said, you're going to have to protect that guy on the bench with energy on it, because it's going to take 2 whole turns to get Poltergeist on deck, and you just might be too far behind at that point, but we'll see.
Lots of contemplation. When do you do it? When is the trigger getting pulled?
Yep, the puppet, the Lost Zone Banette is so sick. I love that guy.
Yeah, definitely agree. Oh, evolution happening now. All right, I guess that plays around any sort of switch, any sort of boss's orders, or forced to come in on the side of this the opponent. You're trying to make sure that this Banette guaranteed gets 1 attack off, though the Crushing Hammer might have something to say about that, as it does get rid of that singleton energy. Only 1 energy left in hand in the Luminous energy, and we're back to chipping away on this clock. So that was 3 out of the 4 Crushing Hammers.
Yeah, so you've thankfully avoided those for the most part, so. There you go. Gonna use the Artizone. right, here we go.
Artisan fail to find because there's no more basics.
Uh-oh.
Boss City, boss's orders, get the Shuppet in. Just to
See ya.
get it off. Yeah, get prize cards ASAP.
Good night, sweet prince.
I guess you're not that worried about the Curlias. It's like the draw engine's fine, but you're stunning out the most pivotal part of the deck in Gardevoir EX anyway.
Ooh, okay. No, not the prime catcher. Anything with the prime catcher.
I guess Prime Catcher doesn't really help you, right?
All right, I guess not.
Like, as long as you have Mew out, it's a free retreat, so you almost never need to swap.
Unless...
Maybe not. Maybe I'm lying. Double Iono.
Not bad. Again, trying to figure out what to do with this energy, but just... All right, we're going to see the Iono come through here. Not a bad call here if you're Ryan. Again, you need a little bit of help here.
Getting that second energy is pretty huge off the Iono. We'll have to wait till the next turn, of course, but you can attach energy and research into a fresh new hand. Drawing to 4, Pokegear is the first card played on the side of Calvin, who gets Judge as the pull.
Oh, wow.
Choosing
There you
not to
go.
for it.
No. Said it once you said, just going for that cheap 140 and passing the energies around.
As long as the gears keep churning, the clock is a ticking. And that sense of inevitability is really hard to play against when your options are as limited as they are right now. Not as limited as some other decks. I mean, Bennett is proving to be a hell of an attacker, but it's just never quite fully enough.
Yeah,
to turn the corner.
it's tough because you rely, both of those attacks are like fairly good if you're like set up in a certain extent. You want to lock your opponent out of using items, build that hand size up so that way you're hitting ridiculous numbers with Poltergeist. But when you're in a situation like this, when your opponent only ever has like 3 or 4 cards in hand, look, it's max got a 180. That stinks.
Yeah, you're never taking a knockout, especially since that's only hitting for 60, a pair of energy cards in the hand.
Oof.
And, I mean, you're not losing out on a Pokemon right now. Could see the Judge come down. Depends on the draw, but we might just keep those gears a churning.
Oh, okay. Loaded up once again. We could just be going for the Volt Cyclone once more. Again, just kind of spreading this damage out. Henry, just punching into the active, knowing that the small hand size prevents the huge swing and knockout here. So keeping a hand size small is going to be really effective here for Cal.
I respect the tenacity of both of these players. Like the win condition is clear and crystal and concise for Calvin. Keep the hand size low. Keep 2 set up Iron Thorns in rotation as often as possible, and then just bounce it back and forth, 140 at a time every single turn. Your turns won't last too long, but they will just simply be a matter of a couple key decisions being made, like when do you attach something, when do you judge, when do you hand control, all of that jazz. Meanwhile, the other side is like constantly working around with one hand tied behind the back.
Yeah.
But Bennett is, I mean, the good fight being put on by Ryan now. He's constantly like maneuvering and manipulating these Pokemon in order to give himself the the best opportunity, and that's a 120 onto the Iron Thorns.
Still no
Missing
hammers.
a question hammer. Big.
Huge.
Unironically huge.
All right, there you go. The Volt Cyclone. It's a free 140. It's going to do enough for a knockout. One prize away is Cal here, Henry.
One prize away from ending the tournament.
There we go. Refinement once again. It's going to be kind of a tough sell here for sure, but listen, there's a comical amount of energy on that benched Iron Thorns.
He's charged. This phone charger is gassed up.
The portable battery has been completed.
It is red hot. It was plugged in to the microwave.
It's sending emails to the sun.
Oh man. Gardevoir EX now sitting on 310. It gets to survive 3 attacks. But there is the boss's orders. Pick your poison. The Mew is going to take the final lash. And that is going to be the last prize card taken. Iron Thorns ran by Kelvin Connor.
My goat. West Coast dub, baby. Shout out to Cal. Coming out on top here. One of my goats. Love Cal. He's a great guy. Great mind for the game. Has seen success at various levels with a lot of very interesting deck archetypes. So no surprise to see him come out on top here. Good stuff to him. Henry, let's take it back to us and we'll close out the night.
Let's wrap up right down there.
All right, Henry. Well, we made it to the end of another late night. Congratulations again to Cal Connor with the W on top. Again, Cal's one of a great guy. Again, one of the best players on the western side of the United States. So no surprise to see him do very well this weekend. Iron Thorns. It's a deck. Iron Thorns is a guy. But that's going to be it for us tonight, folks. Again, we had a lot of variety. And by variety, it means we watched Gholdengo the whole night. But hey.
It was fun.
It's fun. He draws cards. Drawing cards is
a good time.
All right. But again, big shout outs to everyone. Cal coming out on top. Ryan now finishing out in second place. And sandwiched in between the other side is JM Warrior, the other Quad Thorns player. There's 3 Quad Thorns on top 8, so the deck is still a thing. So keep that in mind for when you guys are playing out stuff. So Henry, go ahead.
It's just sometimes you just need to always prepare for anti-meta when it comes to playing into any new format or playing into what people think might be the best deck or what ends up happening as the format solidifies around one deck. You always got to be ready for the anti-meta of whatever that strategy is, people trying to meta game. With that being said, of course, thank you everyone for watching, and you can find me right down there at UBL267 on Twitter. Kyle, where can they find you?
They can find me on Twitter at KoopaNJ. That's me again. Shout out to everyone that partook in the tournament tonight. You all are great, and it's shout outs to shout outs to everyone that came through and hung out with us tonight. And shout outs to the Shuffle Squad, and we will see you guys again next week for more Pokemon TCG action of the late night variety. So everyone have yourselves a wonderful evening, and we will catch you guys next time. Good night, everyone.
Good night, y'all.